My love, relax for a moment and let the noise of the world slowly drift away. Let every worry loosen its grip on your heart. Close your eyes for just a little while and imagine something beautiful with me. Imagine our happiest day. Not the kind of happiness that disappears after a few moments, not the kind that depends on luck or perfect timing, but the kind that settles deeply into the soul and stays there forever. Imagine waking up on a peaceful morning where nothing feels rushed. No stress. No sadness. No heavy thoughts pulling at your heart. Just peace. A soft light enters through the window, and the air feels calm, warm, and full of quiet joy. You stretch slowly, still half asleep. And then you remember something beautiful. You are loved completely. Outside, the world feels softer somehow. The sky looks brighter. The wind feels gentle. Everything around us seems to understand that this day is different. This is the day we dreamed about when things were hard. This is the day we imagined when distance felt unbearable, when loneliness tried to whisper lies to us, when the nights felt too long and hope sometimes felt fragile. But we made it. Can you imagine that moment with me? No more waiting, no more wondering, no more fears about what tomorrow will bring. Just us, standing in the middle of a life we fought for. I imagine your smile first. That smile that changes everything around me. The kind of smile that makes even ordinary moments feel unforgettable. On our happiest day, I want to see you smiling without worry in your eyes. I want to see peace resting on your face like sunlight after a storm. Maybe we wake up somewhere beautiful. Somewhere quiet, far away from the pressure of everything that once tried to steal our peace. Maybe there are trees swaying outside, birds singing softly in the distance, and the smell of fresh coffee or breakfast filling the room. Maybe we laugh because one of us woke up late, or maybe we stay wrapped in blankets for a little longer because finally, there is nowhere urgent to be. Imagine how safe it feels. No pretending, no walls. No fear of being misunderstood, just honesty, just warmth, just love. You know what I think happiness really looks like? I think happiness looks simple when it is real. I think happiness is laughing over small things nobody else would understand. It is inside jokes. Soft touches. Looking at each other and knowing, without speaking, that everything somehow turned out okay. On our happiest day, I imagine us talking about the journey that brought us there. Remembering every difficult chapter that once felt impossible to survive. Every painful misunderstanding. Every lonely moment. Every obstacle that made us stronger, and instead of pain, we feel gratitude, because every challenge led us here. To this moment, to this life, to this kind of peace, I imagine us walking somewhere beautiful together. Maybe near the ocean where the waves keep singing their endless song. Maybe through a quiet city full of lights and beautiful streets. Maybe through fields touched by golden sunlight. Honestly, the place does not matter nearly as much as one thing. you are there, because happiness changes shape when it is shared with the person who matters most. Can you imagine how different life feels when we stop surviving and finally start living? No more wondering if things will work out. No more nights filled with overthinking. No more sadness trying to convince us that happiness is too far away. Instead, there is trust, there is comfort, there is laughter, there is the quiet certainty that no matter what life brings next, we face it together. Imagine us sitting somewhere peaceful near sunset. The sky painted with soft colors, orange, gold, pink, and deep blue. The kind of sunset that makes everything feel magical without trying too hard. Maybe we are holding hands. Maybe we are saying nothing at all, because sometimes love becomes so deep that silence feels complete, and in that silence, I imagine something beautiful happening. You breathe deeply, you finally relax, not just physically, but emotionally, the kind of relaxing that happens when your soul finally feels safe. You stop carrying invisible weight. You stop expecting disappointment, you stop bracing yourself for heartbreak, and instead, you simply exist in a moment that feels full, whole, complete. That is what I imagine for us, not perfection, not some unrealistic dream where nothing ever goes wrong, just real happiness, the kind where we choose each other again and again, even when life becomes complicated. The kind where hard days still exist, but love becomes stronger than fear. The kind where home is no longer a place, home becomes a person, and somehow, whenever life feels uncertain, we look at each other and remember, we already found what matters. Imagine the little things too. Cooking together and making a mess in the kitchen, laughing over burned food, stealing bites from each other's plates, dancing in the living room when nobody is watching, falling asleep during movies because we feel too comfortable to stay awake, talking late into the night about dreams, memories, and ridiculous ideas. Even grocery shopping somehow becoming fun because ordinary moments stop feeling ordinary when they are shared with someone who means everything. I imagine us creating memories so beautiful that years later we still smile thinking about them. Imagine us taking photos we never stop looking at. Imagine hearing laughter echo through a home filled with warmth. Imagine the calm feeling of knowing that after every hard day, someone is waiting to ask, "How are you really doing?" Someone who truly listens, someone who truly cares, someone who stays. That matters more than anything, because love is not just excitement, love is consistency, love is showing up, love is patience. Love is choosing kindness even when life feels difficult. Love is staying gentle when the world feels harsh. And when I imagine our happiest day, I do not imagine grand perfection. I imagine emotional safety. I imagine peace. I imagine waking up and knowing that no matter how uncertain life becomes, we are no longer facing it alone. Imagine us looking back one day and laughing at how scared we once were. Remember when we worried everything would fall apart? Remember when we thought maybe happiness was only meant for other people, and then life surprised us, not because everything suddenly became easy, but because we became stronger, because love became stronger. Because somehow, through all the uncertainty, we learned something important, the right kind of love teaches your heart how to rest. Imagine hearing music softly playing in the background while the day slowly unfolds. Nothing dramatic happening. Nothing flashy, just comfort, just joy, just the feeling that after all the waiting, life finally softened. Maybe we travel together someday, maybe we see places we once only talked about. Maybe we stand somewhere breathtaking, looking at a view so beautiful that words disappear for a moment, and maybe the best part is not even the place itself, maybe the best part is quietly realizing, I would still choose this moment even if the view disappeared, because the real beauty was always sharing it with you. Imagine growing older without fear. Imagine years passing, and instead of love fading, it grows quieter and deeper. A kind of love built on trust, a kind of love built on understanding, a kind of love where even silence feels comforting. Maybe someday we sit outside watching the sunset with older hands but the same hearts, still laughing, still teasing each other. Still finding reasons to smile, still choosing each other. Wouldn't that be beautiful, to know that even after everything life tried to throw at us, we still made it, still here, still loving, still dreaming, still holding on. My love, I want you to imagine something important. Imagine letting go of fear. Imagine believing that happiness is possible. Imagine believing that beautiful things can happen for you too. Because sometimes we become so used to disappointment that hope feels dangerous, but hope is not dangerous. Hope is brave. Hope is necessary. Hope is what carries us through dark seasons until light returns. And maybe right now, life feels uncertain, maybe things feel confusing. Maybe your heart feels tired, but even tired hearts deserve beautiful futures, even exhausted souls deserve peace, even people who have been disappointed deserve joy. So relax for a moment, breathe, and imagine our happiest day again. Imagine waking up without fear. Imagine smiling without forcing it. Imagine feeling safe. Imagine feeling understood. Imagine feeling deeply loved. Imagine laughter replacing stress. Imagine peace replacing anxiety. Imagine warmth replacing loneliness. Imagine love becoming stronger than every difficult chapter that once tried to defeat us. And when you imagine it, do not imagine it as something impossible, imagine it as something worth believing in. Because happiness often begins quietly, not with fireworks, not with perfect timing. Sometimes happiness begins with two hearts deciding not to give up. Sometimes happiness begins with patience. Sometimes happiness begins with choosing hope when fear feels louder. And maybe one day, without even realizing how it happened, we wake up and discover something beautiful. We are already living the day we once only imagined. And when that day comes, I hope we smile at each other and say, we made it. After everything, we made it.